Hello everyone, this is Zooc and today I'm bringing you a new drawing video, the first one after I've gotten back from my vacation. And this is going to be Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. However, as fascinating as this character is, I will skip talking about its history because it's very minor by the looks of it. Basically, the character was designed after the plot of Final Fantasy IX was completed. It is based on a black mage type of character from previous Final Fantasy games. It was very well received, which is why Google Images has about 1,000 pictures of the same redrawn character from Wikipedia, because people cannot come up with new poses and instead prefer to copy images, retrace them, draw them in a poor manner, and call it art. So, yeah, that's it. Instead, I'm going to talk about how my trip went and how my life is, because I want to. So for those of you that don't know, I was gone for 9 days on vacation in Prague with a couple of friends. It was a very good vacation. We ate a lot of food. We went to a few places, and there was some more stuff which I'll get into later. So let's begin with the food. What places would I recommend? I know Czech people probably have sampled these, but if you ever plan on going to Prague, write this shit down if you like to eat well, because it's worth it. So the first place would be Cafe Imperial. It is a pseudo-fancy place which you need a reservation for, and apparently it sports a dress code, even though I saw some people in flip-flops over there. So I'm not entirely sure how much the dress code is respected. In any case, I went there in a suit, semi-suit, smart casual thing, and preferred to avoid any sort of unpleasantry at the door. I had this insane dish of foie gras on gingerbread with apple chutney, which blew my mind. Literally blew it all over the table. It was fucking insanely good. Seriously. Like, I know foie gras is generally good on pretty much anything, but this was particularly intelligently designed, I guess. And we also had their national dish, or one of their national dishes, which is called svíčková, which is basically a roasted beef tenderloin in a sauce made out of pureed roasted vegetables, mostly root vegetables, mixed with heavy cream, a bit of sugar in some cases, and this whole thing is served with dumplings. Now, a lot of the Czech cuisine is based around the concept of dumplings, which is not quite what you'd expect if you're used to Asian-style dumplings like gyoza and pork buns and all that sort of stuff. So these dumplings are basically big loaves of boiled bread, or a bread-like dough, and they are then sliced and served with whatever dish you're having. In some cases, they are made from bread. In other, like actual bread mixed with more flour, milk, and egg. In other cases, they are made from a yeasted dough, which is let rise and then shaped and boiled. And in other cases as well, they are filled with stuff served over, on top, under various things. Very diverse. But in any case, they are meant to soak up sauces, particularly in the case of this dish, which is soaking in a sauce that is absolutely delicious most of the time. From what I've had it like 3 or 4 different places over there, so it was good pretty much every time. But Cafe Imperial definitely nailed it. Theirs was the absolute best. And we also had a dessert made out of a chocolate sphere that they melted over some ice cream, and it's like made a show out of it. Pretty good. All the food was good over there. I definitely recommend trying it out. And it's not as expensive as it looks. Like, the place looks super fancy, but it's really, really affordable. Another place that I would highly recommend is The Tavern, which is a very small restaurant. They serve mostly burgers and really disgusting American dishes, such as chili cheese fries, which is one of my favorite things in the world. So what I had there was, of course, chili cheese fries, obviously, which was the best one I've had, better than I've had in America after living for a year over there and having chili cheese fries in like 10 different places, which was definitely a pleasant surprise, honestly. I did not expect to have such good American-style food in Prague. The burger was also a phenomenally huge thing that was absolutely delicious. This double patty thing called the Apoca burger with bacon and all the shit on it. It's just so good. So fucking good. If I were to have a restaurant, I would have a restaurant like The Tavern that does one thing, but it does it really well. So very impressed with that place. Go check it out. Other than that, we went to a few Well, we went to a Brazilian steakhouse. I think it's the only one they have over there. I'm sure it's easy to find, which was one of the most disappointing experiences, actually. The concept of a Brazilian steakhouse is that people walk around with meat on swords, literally swords, and they stop at your table, and you have these little cards that are green on one side and red on the other side. You turn the cards to the green side when you want people to come to your table to give you food, and you turn them upside down to red when you're done or want to take a break. Well, we had these things on red for about 20 minutes, and I think like 10 different people came to our table wanting to serve us shit. Do you want shrimp? Do you want meat? It's like, look at the card. It's on red. Why are you here? So clearly that concept is kind of taken as a joke over there, and not really, people don't really seem to be noticing it much. And the food was not particularly good, not for that kind of price. I had a really good experience at a Brazilian steakhouse in South Carolina, and I assumed it would be the same here, but no. I would personally avoid that place. I would not go there again. And I also had sushi at a place called Yami, which is a very, not yummy as in yum yum, but Y-A-M-I, it is spelled. Quite a fancy Japanese restaurant. They also have various Asian dishes such as bulgogi and stuff from Koreans, from Chinese. Awesome food. Really good. Some of the best sushi I've had over there, actually, and they are huge. Like, I ordered 5 different rolls, because that's usually how much I get when I get takeout sushi. 5 sushi rolls of different things, and they brought out this thing that looks like a boat, and every piece of sushi filled my mouth, and I have a huge mouth. Like, these things were crazy big. I could only eat about half of it before I just gave up. I just couldn't anymore. But really tasty, very fancy. Highly recommended if you like Asian stuff. And the bulgogi was also really good. Had a taste from another person I was with. So do go there. These 3 places are basically kind of the best I've had over there. And we also went to some pubs, of course. We actually went to this really shitty looking pub. We had no idea what it would look like, but it seemed okay rated. There was this crazy loud music playing from one side of it, where they had like a retro disco night going on, which is quite the horrific experience. Thankfully, we did not have to attend that event. We went to the other place where you eat and drink, and there were these construction workers just casually chilling there in their dirty garments. You could smoke inside, which was very refreshing, so we did that. But we were very well dressed, I guess, for the occasion, with jewelry on and fancy clothes and whatnot, and we kind of stood out like a sore thumb, considering the place was full of housewives and people that looked like they had just shoveled a large amount of sand and or shit. But the food was really good. Of course, I had svichkova over there, because I always have that. It's so fucking delicious. And we had some dirty Czech beer, which was awesome. Some unfiltered stuff. I can't even pronounce that stuff. But the English menu was hilarious, because they had the title of the menu, a little to start and something to beer, which I found very funny. So yes, in Prague, you beer. That's apparently what you do. Beer is a verb over there, which I am totally fine with. Other than that, we went to see some places and took a couple of pictures. I'm not the biggest sightseer. Like, granted, the city was beautiful and you can definitely appreciate the architecture and whatnot, but that's not my main focus. Usually when I go somewhere, I go to sample the food and kind of see how life is. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that it is a much cleaner place than Bucharest. I did not see a single stray dog, and I had a negative experience with a person from my apartment building, which filed a complaint against me because I was throwing cigarette butts on the ground. Something which is very common in Bucharest, by the way, so I was unaware that it was such a big deal in Prague, because over here we have street sweepers, which sometimes, maybe once in a while, pick some shit up. Usually not so much, but nobody will ever chastise you for throwing a cigarette butt on the ground. Well, apparently here it is a big deal, so I had to clean all that shit up and not do it again, which is fine. Good on you, Prague. I hope we can get to the same level at some point, but it will take a while. Other than that, I met a girl over there. She has been watching my videos for a while, and we talked for a little bit before I went over there, and we met up, had a talk, did some stuff, and apparently I'm not single anymore, so I guess traveling worked out for me, this time at least. And I will be going back there mid-November to, well, you know, stuff and things. That kind of, yeah. So it was good overall. We had fun. I had more fun than my friends, but hey, that's got to happen at some point, right? And it was good. Other than that, I've lost 17 kilos so far on my diet, which is awesome. All my clothes are loose and falling off me and whatnot. 17 kilos is basically 38 pounds. So if you haven't seen my video on my general philosophy principles on losing weight, I recommend you do check it out, because all the people that have been trying my method of doing it have reported pretty good success. And they are definitely keeping up with it, and so will I for a few more months until I get to my goal weight, which is 110 kilos, and I'm way too lazy to translate that into pounds. You can figure it out. It's 200 something or other. And it's going very well. I didn't actually gain any weight on my vacation, which is awesome. I'm very happy TB is doing okay. That was one thing that was kind of stressing me out throughout my trip, knowing that he's about to go into surgery and being anxious about the results and everything. But he seems to be doing fine, so things are looking up, doing very well. And here's to success in the future. So I will leave it here. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I did not talk about the character, but I wanted to share my experiences with my subscribers, at least those who care enough. So, yeah. I guess if you did watch the drawing, please rate that shit. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. She's hot, by the way. Just saying. Yeah, see ya.